Hello friends, this is Adam with Movie Guy 365, and today I'm going to review the 4K exclusive Best Buy Steelbook of the Hobbit Trilogy. If you're new to the channel, please hit the like button, subscribe, hit that bell notification. You can also find me over Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd at Movie Guy 365. Okay, Peter Jackson's The Hobbit Trilogy is now available on 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray, and as you can see, the Best Buy exclusive Steelbook above my shoulder there, and there's also a standard edition which is also available out there at your local retailers and online. Now, as far as the Hobbit films go, they really have kind of a mixed, I would say, reception with the general audience. Now, Peter Jackson had a pretty much massive undertaking, coming off the heels of the Lord of the Rings trilogy, which is arguably one of the best trilogies made on film, and taking a story like The Hobbit, which is really shorter than the Lord of the Rings, and expanding it into 3 films. And of course, there was drama with the director. Guillermo del Toro was attached at one point, which I still wonder what that would have looked like. I think that would have been amazing, but I digress. So yeah, Peter Jackson took control over The Hobbit, and now we have it here on the trilogy. So I think overall, the film does work. It does have, yes, some filler, additional material, and all the movies, I think, work in their own way, and I do enjoy them. I just don't feel the necessary pull to watch them frequently like I do the Lord of the Rings. I think they're kind of, whereas the Lord of the Rings I would watch about once a year, I would go to The Hobbit maybe like once every other year. So I don't see that changing here with the 4K edition, though there is a lot to talk about as far as the quality of the picture and the audio goes, which I'll touch on in a moment. Okay, let's do a quick unboxing and we'll dive right into the Steelbook edition of The Hobbit. Okay, we have the Hobbit Trilogy in 4K exclusive Best Buy Steelbook here, and it looks pretty nice. Equally as nice as the Lord of the Rings Steelbook set as well. And then we have the spines there, the back cover, and then looks really good, really nice. And then, of course, we have the top. So yeah, all right, let's take a look at these individually. Okay, first we have The Hobbit: An Unexpected Journey. I like this cover, honestly. It's really, really cool. And then we have the back and the spine. Interior. It's really nice. Bilbo and Gollum. All right. Next we have the Desolation of Smog. I like the image on this one as well. It's really sharp. And then we have the back, the spine, and then interior. I like this background picture. It's really cool. Oh. All right. And finally, we have the Battle of the 5 Armies. See, all 3 match really nicely together. It's a very nice set. It's very cool. All right, now let's talk about the picture quality and the audio. Just a couple of quick notes before I begin my review. I will be judging the scores based off of the extended editions of the Hobbit Trilogy. That's how I prefer to watch it personally. But after I did complete the extended edition for my review, I did pick a few key scenes in the theatrical run of all 3 movies, and everything pretty much looks identical, both video and audio. So just keep that in mind when you are looking at the scores. So also, these films are rendered on 4K in 24 frames per second. The high frame rate, the HFR that was in some theatrical run prints, is not included on this particular release. For An Unexpected Journey, The Desolation of Smog, and The Battle of the 5 Armies, they have an aspect ratio of 240. It is native 4K resolution with HDR10 and Dolby Vision for the grading. For purposes of this review, I will be talking about the Dolby Vision encodes. All 3 Hobbit films were shot digitally, so the overall quality is a bit cleaner than what we got over on the Lord of the Rings. There's not really any film grain to speak of here, so it's a nice clean look, and for those that appreciate that, you'll have plenty to enjoy here. Now, as far as An Unexpected Journey goes, I feel it's the most colorful of the three Hobbit films, really by far. Everything from the Shire to Rivendell, it's all rendered really well. It looks good, and it gives you that nice transition from the springtime aspects of the Shire to the fall that's prominent throughout the other half of the movie. It looks good, it's very lush and green and browns and golds. It all works very well here. The color aspect of An Unexpected Journey is really nice. Level of detail is also a significant upgrade over the Blu-ray. It looks good. Black levels and shadow detail are also really well rendered here. It looks good from nighttime scenes, dark interiors, when Bilbo and the dwarves are encountering the trolls. That scene in particular looks really good, but once again, it's all rendered very well. An Unexpected Journey looks great on 4K. The Ultra HD Blu-ray is top-notch visually, and you definitely won't be disappointed. When it comes to the Desolation of Smog, things start to turn a little bit darker, both literally and figuratively in this movie. The 4K presentation visually is absolutely stunning. It relies on a lot of detail and black level, and it's really well rendered. I really want to focus on the encounter with Smog. The dark interiors of his lair are just really foreboding, and it gives you a nice contrast with the gold and the lighting. It is absolutely breathtaking. It never has looked better, in my opinion. It is absolutely stunning sequences that involve Smog and the dwarves and Bilbo. That's my favorite scene in the entire trilogy. It's absolutely awesome, which I'll touch on a little bit more in the audio presentation. The Battle of the Five Armies also looks really nice on 4K utilizing Dolby Vision. I will say some of the visual effects are a little bit out of place, a couple spots here and there, but it's really kind of, if you're looking for it, you're going to find it. But for the most part, it's pretty seamless. I think overall the color levels look really good here. Sometimes a little bit muted, but other times very vibrant and alive. Level of detail is also significantly increased, just like the previous two movies, and it looks really good. Up close shots of armor and the facial hair of the dwarves look really good, and the overall black levels are nice and deep and inky. The picture quality of the Battle of the Five Armies, I feel, is top-notch. It matches the other two films really nicely, and overall, the picture quality of the Hobbit Trilogy is a very nice upgrade. The Hobbit Trilogy now has a Dolby Atmos presentation. Now, I will say that the Blu-ray editions with the 7.1 I always felt were really strong, actually very aggressive, and a pleasurable experience at my personal home theater. But the Dolby Atmos takes things up another notch, utilizing height speakers and a good energy. I'll say one of the standouts for the Dolby Atmos presentation on the Hobbit Trilogy is going to be the music. Just like with the Lord of the Rings, it gives you a nice dynamic presence, it fills the room, it puts you in Middle-earth in a way no other soundtrack really can match. And it's honestly, the Dolby Atmos speaker placement really takes great use of the music, and it puts it to full effect. An Unexpected Journey has a lot of quieter moments, especially at the beginning of the film, but it doesn't shy away from the action in any way, shape, or form. The battle, once again, with the trolls and the dwarves fills the room very nicely, and all those other moments throughout the film, they all have something to do, and it's a very nice overall use of the Atmos. In the Desolation of Smog, the encounter with Smog himself is really the reference quality point of this Dolby Atmos presentation. Everything from Benedict Cumberbatch's guttural turn as Smog is just the growling and the sinister, forbidding nature of the creature really come to life here utilizing Dolby Atmos. The echo-ness of the cave, the coins that when he shifts his body, it's all rendered very well. It's really demo-worthy in my opinion, this particular sequence in the movie, and the Desolation of Smog makes great use of an overall Dolby Atmos presentation. And not to be outdone, the Battle of the Five Armies really excels as well. This really has a good overall feel to it, especially during, yes, the Battle of the Five Armies, the wartime scenes, the clanking and clanging of steel on shields, and just the creatures. It all makes great use of all the surround sound environments very nicely, and it's a very aggressive presentation. When it comes to all three films, the dialogue coming through the center channel is clear. There's a lot of clarity there. It has a good presence. It's no problems to understand what anybody's speaking, even from the heavier moments, the action scenes, especially in the Battle of the Five Armies. It's all rendered very well. The front channel speakers have a lot to do. They handle the burden of action very nicely, and it's a very overall pleasing presence. The mid-levels and the rears. Once again, the music is one of the standouts here, but everything from environmentals, action heavy moments, quieter ambience, it all works here. And the height speakers, there's a lot of discrete channel activity. Everything from the echoing of caves to the arrow volleys and the battles to the flying around of smog. It all has something to do with the height speakers. It makes great use, and if you have a Dolby Atmos setup, you're definitely going to enjoy those speaker placements. The LFE is very aggressive throughout all three movies. It complements what's happening, especially during those action-heavy moments, and really just has a nice dynamic presence to it. For the picture quality, I'm going to give the Hobbit Trilogy on 4K an A+. This is a reference quality presentation. It looks amazing in 4K with HDR and Dolby Vision grading. It has a nice look to it. It all works. Color levels, black levels, details, it all gets a nice bump up over the Blu-ray. You will not be disappointed whatsoever. Also equally impressive is going to be the audio presentation. I'm giving that one an A+ as well. Middle-earth is made for Dolby Atmos. It has a great presence. All three films sound fantastic. I will say my personal preference is going to be the Desolation of Smog. But yes, all three films in the Hobbit Trilogy sound amazing. They're very dynamic, immersive. Should you upgrade to the 4K editions of the Hobbit Trilogy? I think it goes without saying, but absolutely. I will say that while I still enjoy the 3D versions, I'm going to hold on to those as long as I can. I still think the 4K visually is a stunner. It looks great, and of course the Dolby Atmos edition really just is the cherry on top, and it's an overall very good upgrade in my opinion. So that is my review of the Hobbit Trilogy on 4K. Let me know in the comments section below if you picked it up. What did you think of the overall presentation? In the meantime, please like, subscribe, hit that bell notification. So until next time, this is Adam with Movie Guide 365. I will see you at the movies.